To the battle over a name. As protests over racial injustice exploded across the country this summer, there's been a re-examination of our popular culture, from sports to film to television to music, and whether certain names, images, and symbols should be cast aside as antiquated or just downright racist. The country music band Lady Antebellum has been part of that sweeping movement. The group is best known for their 2010 mega hit, I'm sure you've heard it before, Need You Now.
It's a quarter after one, I'm all alone and I need you now.
But as symbols of the Confederacy came down across the nation, the band announced in June that they would be dropping the word antebellum from their name, saying, quote, "We are regretful and embarrassed to say that we did not take into account the associations that weigh down this word," referring to the period of history before the Civil War, which includes slavery. Instead, they said they would just be going by the name Lady A, as they say many of their fans had referred to them already for years. But just one problem. Blues and soul singer Anita has been performing under the name Lady A for decades. Here's the Pacific Northwest singer performing the title track of her 2018 album, Doing Fine.
Be mad, 'cause you ask me how I'm doing. Baby, I'm loving life and I'm doing fine. Doing fine, yes, I'm doing fine.
Now, the two sides spoke soon after the connection was realized and seemed to be on their way to an amicable agreement to potentially share the name, but the discussions have now turned into a legal dispute, with the band formerly known as Lady Antebellum now turning to a judge to settle the matter. And Anita White, also known as Lady A, she joins us now. Thanks so much for your time, Lady A. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, for having me.
So you released a powerful statement last week saying Black lives, names, experiences, work, art, they all matter. And you said, quote, "I want to be able to freely use my brand that I spent decades building. I do not want to part with it. It is particularly painful to me as a Black woman to lose my name in this time and place, so Lady Antebellum can use it as shorthand to celebrate a time and place connected to and very heavily reliant upon slavery." So just make your case for why this name change would be so damaging to you and your musical career.
Well, not only is it damaging to me, but if Lady Antebellum clearly believes that Black lives matter and want to disassociate themselves from the stigma of the name, shortening it to A doesn't change anything. I have built this name for decades, before they were born. And I've been building it, and I'm an independent artist. There's a lot of independent artists out there, and we grind every day to do what we do. And Black folks, Indigenous people of color of this land, we grind even harder. So sometimes all we have is our name. We don't want to have that taken from us. Our culture gets taken, our music gets taken. This is more important for those that come behind me.
And you've also called out the brand as being insincere in their rebranding efforts, saying that they should have realized the harm of their name well before this moment. You've also accused them of trying to bully and intimidate you. The band, for its part, said in a statement, "When we learned that Miss White had also been performing under the name Lady A, we had heartfelt discussions with her about how we can all come together and make something special and beautiful out of this moment. We never even entertained the idea that she shouldn't also be able to use the name Lady A, and never will." So they say that they wanted to work with you so that you could both use the name and even collaborate on music out of this. So explain, in your view, where the communication broke down.
My question was always, from the very beginning, I did not want to coexist. I didn't see what coexistence would look like. And when I asked the question of lawyers, their management team, the artists themselves, I asked it in threes on purpose. What does coexistence look like? And Lindsay, they disregarded me as if I had never asked the question. When we were on the phones with the lawyers, every time I would ask, nobody had a response. They would move on to something else. So then when we had the Zoom call with the actual artists, I asked again, what does coexistence look like? Because right now, well, at that time, Lady Antebellum was on the top in Google search, and I was always under them. I always knew that they were there. I put out 5 CDs under Lady A. They've not put out one CD under Lady A. That's their nickname. This is my professional name. And so the talks kind of broke down when I could see the insincerity, because what privilege allows you to do is think that what you're doing is right and you don't have to explain yourself. I wanted an explanation. Like I said, I work in race and social justice, and I'm going to make people accountable. I didn't say that, that Black Lives Matter. They did. They brought this up. They brought this to the American public. They put it in the newspapers. They talked about their eyes were opened. They had seen the biases, and that, I want to quote them, now blind spots we didn't even know existed have been revealed. If that is true, you need to put power behind your words, and being an ally sometimes requires that you give up something in your sincerity, if you're sincere. I never saw that they were sincere. They wanted to do a song together. I was excited about it. I'm willing to try, but I'm not going to be your token person so that you look woke. Well, that's not what I'm going to do.
Well, I am curious, and this is really like a two-part question. Legally, are you concerned because they're saying that they had trademarked this name, Lady A, going back 10 years ago? And so do you think that they're going to have that aspect of this on their side? And also, you had asked for $5 million for yourself as compensation for having to rebrand, and also $5 million donated to charity. How did you come up with that figure, and how do you respond to critics who say that you're trying to unfairly squeeze the band for millions of dollars?
The $5 million, I came up with that because every agreement they had kept coming back void. It had no substance to it. It wasn't backing their words of what they were saying about the fact that Black lives mattered to them, that they wanted to get rid of this racist connotation that was attached to their name. And again, I didn't say that. They said that. So I decided that I have a life to get back to. And if I'm going to have to rebrand myself as something else, because I can't share a name with you, I'm not going to do that. I decided, well, maybe rebranding would be the thing to do, even though I would have to explain that to my community. I'd have to explain it to the kids that I mentor. And I thought, well, you know what? I can take $5 million, rebrand myself, change all my CDs. I mean, nobody knows what goes into rebranding. The other $5 million, I had asked my lawyers they could be broken into 3 charities. One would be Black Lives Matter, because Lady Antebellum said so. The other would be to seniors and young adults that I work with in my community here in the Seattle area. And the other charity would be for musicians all over the country that run into these types of problems, into legal problems. I am blessed to have Cooley LLP, who is representing me pro bono. And I thank God for them and all the wonderful people who have been sending me amazing messages of hope and support. I really do appreciate it. This is not easy, but I have to stand up and say enough of taking from people of color and Black folks.
Lady A, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.